You wake up cold. Your blanket, just a thick sheet of felt, is damp with dew. The grass beneath your body is uneven. There are no beds in the Mongol camp, only the hard ground, and the smell of smoke from a dying fire. You sit up slowly, rubbing your eyes. The air is thin and sharp. You've slept in your armor again, just in case. The sky above you is still a deep purple, and the horizon glows faintly with the coming sun. Today will be another long day in the army of Genghis Khan. You were born on the steppe. You learned to ride a horse before you learned to walk. You've fired thousands of arrows, butchered animals with a flint knife, and memorized the laws of the Khan since you were 10. But now, you are no longer training. You are marching. You belong to the greatest army the world has ever seen, and it absolutely sucks. Your boots are stiff with mud. Your hands are cracked from the cold. The camp begins to stir around you. No one speaks loudly. Discipline is everything. You stretch your legs, pack your things, and feed your horse before you eat anything yourself. Your breakfast? A strip of dried meat, tough and tasteless. A small pouch of fermented mare's milk, arag, sour and thin. Sometimes, if you're desperate, you nick a vein in your horse's neck and drink its blood. Just enough to survive. Not enough to kill it. This is how Mongol warriors endure. You ride for hours, 10, sometimes 12, without rest. You must shoot while galloping. Drink water while galloping. Sleep in short bursts, in the saddle. Everything is done in motion. Your bow is a masterpiece, made of wood, horn, and sinew. It hums with tension, but it's no use if your aim falters. The Khan demands precision and silence. No shouting, no cheering. Mongol warriors ride in ghostly coordination, fluid, deadly, disciplined. If you fall behind, you are whipped. If you steal food, you are executed. If you disobey, your entire unit is punished. There is no room for mistakes. You follow orders like scripture. You form into Tuman, units of 10,000. You ride under black banners and burn cities to the ground, not for cruelty, but because it is efficient. You sleep with your sword. You bury your comrades when there's time. When there isn't, you move on. The Mongol way of war is fast, brutal, and terrifying. But for the warrior, it's repetitive, hard, lonely. You ride through sandstorms, snowstorms, endless plains with no end in sight. Your horse is your closest companion. You trust it more than your own commander. You are never truly clean. Your clothes haven't been washed in weeks. Your fingers smell of leather and sweat. You dream of water you can bathe in, food that doesn't come in strips, a bed, a roof. But you are a soldier of Genghis Khan, and that means you keep going, because there is no going home. There is only forward. Evening falls. You make camp again. You tie your horse. You scrape dry blood from your blade. You eat silently, staring at the fire, listening to men cough and horses shuffle in the dark. You think about the next city, the next conquest, the next death. You do not sing songs. You do not pray aloud. You sleep with one eye open, because tomorrow the empire moves again, and you move with it. But the battles were only one part of the Mongol story. Behind every war cry was a plan, and behind every soldier, a ruthless chain of command. What happened when things went wrong? When a single act of resistance demanded overwhelming revenge. Let us now ride to Nishapur. It begins with a murder. The year is 1221, and the Mongol Empire has surged westward like a tide. Their leader, Genghis Khan, is not a king, not a god, but something else entirely, a force of nature, a strategist, a prophet of conquest. But even the great Khan is still human, and humans bleed. His son-in-law, Takuchur, is sent to oversee the Persian city of Nishapur, a place of scholars, traders, poets. It's a jewel of the East. But the people of Nishapur do not fear the Mongols enough. One day, Takuchur is struck down. An arrow, loosed from a rooftop, finds his heart. The Khan's daughter becomes a widow, and the Mongols, who remember everything, begin to plan the city's end. Genghis Khan does not lead the siege himself. He sends one of his most loyal generals, Subutai. Subutai is not a man of fury. He does not shout, or rage, or boast. He moves quietly, efficiently, and he surrounds the city without a single wasted step. Nishapur is walled, yes, but it is not defended by strategy. It does not understand what is coming. Over the course of days, Mongol catapults begin their work. Stones arc through the sky. Tunnels are dug, Arrows blacken the air. Every gate is tested, every wall shaken, and then the walls fall. The massacre that follows is whispered about in every corner of the empire. It becomes part of legend. Some claim 100,000 are killed. Others say more than 1,000,000. Historians doubt the numbers, but not the silence that followed. The streets of Nishapur run red. No quarter is given. No one spared. Not merchants, not farmers, not scribes. The libraries burn. The gardens are trampled. The mosques are emptied. Some stories say that Genghis Khan's daughter requested every single soul in the city be killed in vengeance for her husband. Whether that is truth or myth, it hardly matters. But this is not just a tale of blood. It is also a story of fear and efficiency. The Mongols kill not out of madness, but design. They destroy to send a message, submit, or vanish. And it works. Within months, cities begin to open their gates without resistance. Sultans surrender. Fortresses fall without a single arrow, because the people remember Nishapur. And in the quiet that follows, Subutai continues west. He will one day reach the gates of Europe. But for now, he rides through the ashes of a city no longer on the map. His soldiers quiet. His orders carried out. The conquest continues. Calm, unstoppable, exact. And Nishapur becomes a warning carved into time. As Nishapur's walls crumbled, the empire surged forward. But how did they do it? So fast, so far, so flawlessly. What invisible thread connected Beijing to Baghdad? The answer lies not in the sword, but in the saddle. Let's follow the whisper of hoofbeats into the vast, secret world of the Mongol postal network. Imagine a message traveling across 6,000 kilometers in the 13th century. No planes, no phones, no paved roads. And yet, your letter reaches its destination in mere days or weeks. This was the Yam, the heartbeat of the Mongol Empire. A postal system so vast, so precise, that even centuries later, it would astonish historians. You are a relay rider in the Yam system. Your job is not to fight, but to move. Fast, quiet, endlessly. At your side, a bow, a dagger, a sealed pouch containing orders from the Khan. You ride alone, across frozen rivers and sunlit grasslands, over deserts and through forests, always watching the horizon. Every 40 kilometers, there is a post station called an Ortu. There, you will find a fresh horse, food, water, a place to sleep if time allows. But you rarely stop for long. The message cannot wait. These stations are staffed by families loyal to the Khan. They breed strong horses, sturdy and fast, trained for distance. Some are equipped with falcons, others with smoke signals. Your badge, worn over your chest, identifies you as part of the elite messenger corps. No one may delay you. No town can refuse your needs. You carry the words of empire, and sometimes of war. By night, you follow the stars. By day, the wind. You ride in rain, in snow, through sandstorms, sometimes sleeping in your saddle. Your messages may announce peace treaties, or new tax laws, or declarations of vengeance. The Yam carries it all, without judgment, without rest. From Beijing to Baghdad, the system stretches over 12 million square kilometers. At its height, it is more efficient than anything Europe has. Even Marco Polo, when he travels through Mongol lands, writes in awe about the postal stations. He counts 10,000 horses, 200 stations, and perfect coordination. It is not just communication. It is control. Without the Yam, armies would scatter. Without the Yam, rebellions would fester. Without the Yam, the Mongol Empire would slow and die. But it doesn't, because at any given hour, on any given road, there is a lone rider galloping across the horizon, his eyes on the wind, his hand on the reins, and in his satchel, the next move in a game of empire. And at the center of this great machine, a man under a felt roof. No throne, no palace, just a yurt on the grasslands, and a mind that governed millions. Come closer now, let us glimpse a day in the life of a Mongol Khan. The day begins, not with a trumpet, or a drum, or a parade, but with the soft rustling of felt walls. The flap of a yurt stirs. Outside, the Mongolian steppe stretches in every direction, quiet, golden, endless. Inside, the Khan stirs. You are not a warrior today, not a scout, not a herdsman. Today, you are attending the mourning of a Mongol ruler, a man who commands millions and yet still lives beneath a felt roof. The Khan does not rise at dawn. He is not rushed. His yurt, a gur, round and domed, is warm, well ventilated, and richly appointed. Thick carpets line the floor, cushions from China, bronze mirrors from Persia, tables carved by craftsmen from distant lands. He sits cross-legged on a raised platform, always facing south, the direction of power. There is no throne, no palace, only the center of the empire, wherever the Khan rests. His breakfast is simple: goat milk tea, sweetened with sugar or honey, warm buttered dough, dried fruit, if envoys from the south have been generous. Servants, carefully chosen, attend him without speaking unless asked. Rank is strict. Ritual is everything. Even the way a bowl is offered matters. And if the Khan frowns, lives may change. Outside, the camp stirs. Guards move silently. Horses are brushed, armor polished, advisors summoned. This is no idle morning. The Khan rules not from stone walls, but from motion. He does not wait for messengers to come to him. He moves with the army. His court travels, breathes, evolves. You sit in on a morning council. Officials from across the empire, some wearing silks, others in fur, kneel before the Khan. They speak of taxes, rebellions, marriage proposals, trade routes. A Chinese astrologer presents a scroll. A Persian merchant brings strange cloth. A Tibetan monk chants in low tones. The Khan listens. He rarely speaks at first, but when he does, everyone listens. In the afternoon, he may walk among the horses, visit the falconers, hold his grandchildren, or retire to his tent for stories. He enjoys tales from faraway places. Perhaps a musician will play the Morin Kur, a horsehead fiddle with deep, haunting tones, or a bard will recite the epic of his ancestors. Laughter is not rare, but it must come from the right places. As the sun lowers, a feast is prepared. Goat, roasted over flame. Fresh kumis, bowls of meat broth. The Khan dines with generals, sons, and sometimes foreign guests, diplomats from lands that still resist. Tonight, he may ask questions. What is the price of grain in the Punjab? How long does it take a falcon to reach its prey? How loyal is the new governor of Samarkand? These are not idle questions. They are tests and lessons. At night, the fire dims. The yurt grows quiet. The stars above the steppe burn like silver, and the wind moves slowly across the camp. The Khan sleeps with his dagger nearby, and his empire in motion. From the dust of the battlefield to the hush of the royal tent, the Mongol Empire moved as one. It conquered with cruelty. It ruled with cunning. And above it all, the steppe wind kept blowing. Soft, steady, endless.